1 at the bridge, 2 shot, 2 at the quad. 3's first shot will be the stand-up.
Yes. No. Jeremy, your story 2.
Jeremy's RX3. $30.
30.
Set for traffic.
Set for traffic. Let's keep these hits tight. Thanks.
Welcome back. You could encounter some slowdowns on a portion of Route 30 west in Lancaster County. We have an accident reported at Greenfield Road. We are seeing about a 2-mile stretch of delays there, so give yourself extra time. As we go in, stay in Lancaster County. Stony Battery Road still have this accident at Steeplechase Road, so use caution there. And now into York County. Some slowdowns on parts of 30 westbound around 20 miles per hour. And here's a look at your Interstate 83 northbound drive times. This Lancaster Toyota traffic report is brought to you by Lancaster Toyota. Hey, Matt.
That's it.
Good evening, everybody. Definitely seeing some clouds that are trying to roll in here to the Susquehanna Valley, mainly in our southern counties so far. Well, it's on the cool side of things, near 60 in most spots. But look at those numbers out west. Elkin, 77. Pittsburgh at 71. If you're headed westbound, you will see that warm up, but farther east, more of that onshore ocean flow, keeping things cool around King of Prussia. Harrisburg at 60 with some sunshine reaching the ground. Somerset, 54 degrees there.
20.
And then there's your warmth around Pittsburgh at 71. So a dry evening expected for us, but not the case tomorrow. Looks like showers around the region through the day, especially in the afternoon, and then a line of thunderstorms arriving through the afternoon in western PA. In the Susquehanna Valley, it'll take into the evening hours. That's as a cold front comes through. We'll talk more about that and what to expect into this weekend coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thank you, Matt. Next on News 8 at 5.
We're covering dueling demonstrations on the Star Barn owner's refusal to host same-sex marriages.
Open at 2.
The Auditor General says backlog rape kits are still a problem, how he's demanding justice for victims.
The founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, is now in police custody, and U.S. officials want him in court. A York County team is heading to the heartland to help those in need.
A dry evening ahead, but we are tracking some rain, maybe some storms tomorrow. I'll have details on that and the weekend forecast coming up.
Coverage you can count on continues. This is WGAL News 8 at 5.
Discrimination or religious freedom,
Packaging B.
a popular Lancaster County wedding venue, is now at the center of that debate. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Roach.
I'm Kim Lemon. WGAL News 8's Barbara Barr has more on the dueling protests on that issue held today in Elizabethtown.
Dueling demonstrations took place at the square in Elizabethtown on Star Barn owner David Abel's refusal to allow
3 the stand-up for
same-sex
Kim, tossing
marriages.
to Jeremy, Brian at the chroma.
2019, in the state of Pennsylvania, no one should live in fear of discrimination.
Supporters of LGBTQ rights called for equal treatment, claiming the Star Barn's marriage policy is discriminatory.
We are here in not so much protest of the Star Barn, but to raise awareness about the need for statewide non-discrimination legislation in Pennsylvania for LGBTQ folks.
Supporters say the owners of the private business have the right to exercise their religious freedom by saying no to same-sex marriage.
I believe Mr. Abel has his right of freedom of religion, and with that, his right to run his business the way he would like to.
Owner David Abel wrote to us that Stone Gables estate has been viciously attacked for its faith beliefs that are protected by the Constitution.
As a result of the demonstration and surrounding publicity, Discover Lancaster, which coordinates the county's tourism, decided to cancel its annual event, which was to be held at the Star Barn today. In Elizabethtown, Barbara Barr, WGAL News 8.
The time it takes for the state to
Jeremy.
test rape kits is getting faster and helping to alleviate a serious backlog. That's according to the state's Auditor General. However, Eugene DeBesquale says more needs to be done. WGAL News 8's Jeremy Jenkins is live in Harrisburg to explain.
In the last 3 years, Pennsylvania has gone from just over 3,000 backlog kits to now under 400. But the Auditor General has a plan to lower that number to 0.
You stand as somebody who cannot fully grasp what had just happened to you, swabs your genitals, mouth, and other body surfaces to collect DNA evidence.
Samantha was raped in May of 2009, but her rape kit is still untested. The Auditor General
Brian
says
had the Corona, 3 of the box on
used in
camera.
other states would help pressure agencies to test the kids more quickly and give victims like Samantha the justice they deserve.
The pain lasts a lifetime. Getting these kids tested matters, and it matters a lot.
Dave Pasquale says the testing would be free. The only cost would be the staffing. His office is currently working with the Department of Health to implement the system in our state. Live in Harrisburg, Jeremy Jenkins, WGAL, News 8.
Investigators say he's the man responsible for one of the biggest government leaks in U.S. history. And today, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was arrested in London and charged with computer hacking. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more on this from Washington.
After 7 years holed up in an Ecuadorian embassy, WikiLeaks
$3
found Julian Assange
Kim, 2 Senator
arrested in
Brian.
London, held on behalf of the U.S., tied to what officials call one of the biggest intelligence leaks in history. The Justice Department working to extradite Assange, according to court documents, charging him with conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. Officials say back in 2010, he worked with Chelsea Manning, a former Army intelligence officer, to hack into a government computer, later publishing tens of thousands of secret government documents related to the Iraq War.
He's never been a hero. He released classified information and put our troops in danger.
WikiLeaks also gained notoriety during the 2016 campaign, repeatedly praised by then-candidate Trump after publishing a load of damaging emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign.
This just came out. WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks.
Asked about Assange today,
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
and Assange's lawyer said they will fight extradition, so it could take months or
$3.
maybe even years before he ever sets foot on U.S. soil. Now, if he is convicted, Assange could face up to 5 years in prison. In Washington, I'm Blaine Alexander, WGAL News 8.
In Cumberland County, there was an incident at the construction site at UPMC Pinnacle West Shore this morning. A piece of precast paneling fell onto some scaffolding. The hospital says no one was hurt, and as a precaution, patients and staff in that immediate area were relocated for a time. There are no structural issues with the hospital facilities, and the emergency department is open. But emergency medical services are being routed to other facilities while crews secure that area.
Covering Lancaster County tonight, a fire this morning at Senvo Publishing Company in West Hempfield Township. The fire started shortly after 8 o'clock at the business in the 3500 block of Hempland Road. There were no reports of any injuries and no word yet on a damage estimate.
There's new information on a homicide in York from yesterday. The York County coroner says 23-year-old Christian Gutierrez Rosado died of a gunshot wound to the chest, and that has been ruled a homicide. Police say a person was taken into custody immediately but has not yet been identified. Gutierrez Rosado would have been 24 today.
A group of volunteers from York County will soon head out to the Midwest. They're taking supplies to Nebraska to help farmers there who were hit hard by recent flooding. News 8's Ann Shannon met that team this afternoon.
It took about a week and a half to get all of the volunteers and the supplies together, but now they're ready to set off.
The weather's next. Matt's outside, 2 shot and 2 with the quad.
Head out. The two are part of the York County-based Heartland Agricultural Relief Team. They're taking 3 truckloads of hay to a farmer in Nebraska who lost almost everything in recent flooding.
They're delivering to one individual farmer. If this farmer can rest tomorrow night knowing he doesn't have to struggle to find out where his next bale of hay is coming from, I'm happy.
We have about 20 hours of driving ahead of us of a crew of 6 guys. And you know, it's just farmers helping farmers. They do the same for us.
The team says they plan to be back here in the Susquehanna Valley by Sunday, but they say this may not be their last trip to the Midwest.
Except for weather.
In York County, Ann Shannon, WGAL News 8.
Taking a live look across the Susquehanna Valley using some of WGAL News 8 sky cams. Another cool but sunny day. Meteorologist Matt Moore is outside with the first check of the Storm Team forecast.
And Kim, that sunshine has turned to some cloudy weather, at least in some parts of the Susquehanna Valley, just recently in the last hour or two. And it's definitely a cool one for us this evening as well. Let's start with a look at those temps in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees in most spots now. Again,
come back to Matt outside, 2 shots to the
south
quad.
to north here across the area. Some of those clouds may try to dissipate over the next few hours, but the bottom line is we'll just call for increasing clouds this evening, and then just turning mostly cloudy as we head into the overnight hours, and that is ahead of our next storm system. So again, increasing clouds for your evening. Temperatures will be slow to fall down to the 50s and settle down tonight, only about 48, so a bit milder than where we have been the last couple of nights. Tomorrow, near 70, warm and breezy. Now, I do think there will be some spotty showers developing in the afternoon, and then later in the evening, a line of showers and thunderstorms that will roll through will be likely after sunset, looks like in most spots. And it sets the stage for a day on Saturday, which at this time looks dry. There will be some showers near Philadelphia in the I-95 corridor, but for us it looks like on the dry side, warm temps around 74 degrees. So at least the start of the weekend looking mainly dry, but we're not going to finish that way here for the second half. Much more on that coming up, guys.
Abraham Lincoln, or more specifically a sculpture of Honest Abe, is getting a makeover
Baggage
in
and D.
Gettysburg.
It is a life-size statue of Abe that has welcomed visitors to the Gettysburg National Military Park Museum and Visitors Center for decades.
WGAL News 8's Ed Weinstock was there today to see how that makeover is going.
There are several statues of Abraham Lincoln in Gettysburg, but this one outside the Gettysburg Visitor Center is one of the more notable. It is a magnet for people who want selfies. And now, after 10 years of greeting guests to the Gettysburg Visitor Center, it is undergoing a major makeover. The bronze statue is being stripped back to its wall metal and then polished to a high shine.
He'll pop more than he has before, for sure.
Pop, he'll
Yeah,
pop. huh?
he'll pop.
A lot of folks have gotten really excited when they've gotten close to this sculpture of Abraham Lincoln, and we've been told that some folks have actually climbed up onto its shoulders. That's not a good idea. In Gettysburg, Adams County, Ed Weinstock, WGAL News 8.
Coming up next.
It started off a dark moment in our lives, but I think with the rebuilding process, you're going to see some things within the future that's going to be very bright for our churches.
Our worship leaders are responding after a subject was taken into custody, charged with burning 3 historically black churches in Louisiana to the ground.
And on WGAL News 8 at 5:30.
Lawmakers are hoping to hang up on robocallers for good. Temperature in
break.
Washington with their current efforts.
2.5.
Clear.